Something big is going down in Las Vegas. Kelsey Plum, one of the Aces' biggest stars, just walked away, and she's throwing major shade on her way out. In her very first press conference with the LA Sparks, she made it clear.
And I know for me, there is a level of intensity and work ethic that I do bring to the table, but really just I'm grateful for this opportunity to show that being one of the best players in the world and just taking this franchise back to where it's been and where it will continue to go. So
I've been treated better than I ever have as a WNBA player. Wait, what? This is a two-time champion, a fan favorite, a leader of the Aces, and now she's calling them out? So what's really happening behind the scenes? Did Angel Wilson and Becky Hammon push her out? Is this the beginning of the end for the Las Vegas Aces? And why is Kelsey defending Caitlin Clark while Lauki taking shots at her old team? This is more than just free agency drama. This is a full-blown exodus. Players are running from Vegas, and the Aces' so-called dynasty is crumbling before our eyes. Buckle up, we're about to break it all down. But before we jump into the good stuff, take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. By joining our crew, you'll always be in the loop with the latest WNBA updates, expert takes, and breakdowns of big moves just like this. Don't miss out, we've got every angle covered. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive right in. Once upon a time, like 2 years ago, the Aces were the dominant force in the WNBA. Championships? Check. Star power? Check. Players willing to take pay cuts just to get a ring? Double check. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Fast forward to now, and the so-called dynasty is in absolute turmoil. It's not just a couple of players leaving, it's a mass exodus. 5 key players, including Plum, have jumped ship, leaving fans and analysts questioning what on earth is happening behind the scenes. When a championship-winning team starts to crumble like this, you know there's more to the story than just free agency moves and contract negotiations. And then came Kelsey Plum's bombshell press conference as a member of the LA Sparks. She didn't just thank the Aces and move on gracefully. Oh no, she made it clear that her time in Vegas wasn't all sunshine and championships. I've been treated better than I ever have as a WNBA player. That's not just a farewell message, that's a direct shot at Las Vegas, her former teammates, and the entire organization. It's one thing to leave a team, but it's another thing entirely to suggest that her experience there was less than ideal. This wasn't just a player moving on for a better opportunity. This was a player who felt undervalued, unheard, and possibly even pushed out. But the big question is, what exactly went down behind closed doors in Vegas? Was it locker room tension? A power struggle with Angel Wilson? Was Becky Hammon's coaching style too much to handle? Or is there something even deeper going on? Did Angel Wilson and Becky Hammon push Plum out? Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. We all know that Angel Wilson is the face of the Aces, no question about it. But did that come at the expense of Kelsey Plum's role on the team? Some insiders believe that Plum felt overshadowed, undervalued, and ready to step into a bigger leadership role, something she wasn't getting in Vegas. And then there's Becky Hammon, a coaching legend, sure, but one whose leadership style has been called into question before. Remember the Dearica Hamby pregnancy scandal? The Aces were fined, lost a draft pick, and their reputation took a major hit. Some believe the tension between Hammon and certain players never really went away. With multiple key players leaving all at once, this doesn't feel like a simple off-season roster shakeup. It looks more like a mass exodus. If it was just Plum, fine. But when names like Sydney Colson, Tiffany Hayes, Alicia Clark, and Kate Martin all choose to leave, you have to start asking, what's really happening behind the scenes in Vegas? Reports suggest that chemistry issues and internal conflicts played a huge role in Plum's decision to leave. Some sources claim that she clashed with key teammates and staff, which created an unhealthy locker room atmosphere. And as we all know, when team chemistry starts to crack, even the most talented roster can fall apart fast. But if Plum's departure was just the start of the Aces' troubles, what's next for the franchise? Let's take a deeper look at how Vegas is unraveling before our eyes. If you think the drama stops there, think again. The Aces aren't just losing players, they're losing their identity, and it's happening at an alarming rate. First, let's talk leadership, or the lack of it. Their general manager, Natalie Williams, fired. And what's even crazier, months have passed, and they still haven't found a replacement. That's like steering a sinking ship without a captain. Meanwhile, Becky Hammon is rumored to be pulling a power move, trying to take over as both head coach and general manager. Now, sometimes having one person calling the shots can work, but in this case, it's starting to feel like a recipe for disaster. But wait, there's more. The WNBA is investigating the Aces for possible salary cap violations. That's right. The team is being accused of giving players secret under-the-table perks to keep their roster stacked. And if they're found guilty, the consequences could be massive. We're talking fines, loss of draft picks, and even more scrutiny on a team that's already drowning in controversy. And speaking of controversy, let's talk about the Derica Hamby lawsuit. This one is a PR nightmare. Hamby accused the Aces of discrimination after her pregnancy announcement, and the league responded by slapping the team with a hefty fine and taking away a first-round draft pick. The message was clear. The league wasn't going to tolerate this kind of behavior. But the damage had already been done. Players started questioning the culture in Vegas, and some of them clearly decided they'd had enough. To make matters worse, Angel Wilson and other top players are reportedly growing frustrated with how the team is being run. Some insiders even believe that Wilson might be considering her long-term future with the team. And if Wilson, the face of the franchise, decides to leave, that would be the final nail in the coffin for the so-called Aces dynasty. It's a downward spiral that doesn't seem to have an end in sight. With all these issues stacking up, it's no wonder players are jumping ship. What was once the most dominant team in the league is now facing an identity crisis. And unless some major changes happen soon, things could get even worse. So where does this leave Kelsey Plum? And what does her departure mean for the rest of the league? Now here's where things take an unexpected turn. Plum didn't just take shots at the Aces, she also made waves by defending Caitlin Clark. Clark, the Indiana Fever's new superstar and one of the most hyped rookies in recent memory, has been the talk of the league. But not all the attention has been positive. Some WNBA veterans have been vocal about the media frenzy surrounding her, arguing that she hasn't proven herself at the professional level yet. Some have even suggested that the hype is overshadowing other talented players in the league. But Plum, she's not having any of that negativity. She made it crystal clear that she respects Clark's game and believes in her potential. Plum went on record to say that Clark is bringing something fresh and exciting to the league, something the WNBA should be embracing rather than tearing down. Could this be another subtle dig at her former Aces teammates, who may not have always been the most supportive of younger talent? Maybe. Or maybe Plum just knows a generational talent when she sees one and isn't afraid to call it like it is. Either way, Plum's public endorsement of Clark is a bold move. It sends a powerful message that she supports the next wave of WNBA stars and isn't afraid to go against the popular narrative. It also speaks volumes about Plum's character. She's not just focused on her own career. She's invested in the future of women's basketball as a whole. Fans have been quick to react to Plum's comments. Some are applauding her for standing up for Clark and recognizing her talent, while others are speculating about what this means for the league's internal dynamics. One thing's for sure, Plum's words will keep people talking for a long time. So with all this buzz surrounding Plum and Clark, what does this mean for the Indiana Fever? Could the Fever be building something special? Let's dive into that next. Whoa, you've made it this far. That must mean you're really enjoying the video, right? So why not take a quick second to hit that follow button? It's totally free, super simple, and helps us keep bringing you more awesome content, especially if you love the WNBA. Whether it's game highlights, player spotlights, or behind-the-scenes moments, we've got you covered. Plus, by following, you'll never miss a beat when it comes to your favorite teams and players. Go on, tap that follow now. All right, let's jump back in. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are becoming a super team. While the Aces are dealing with pure chaos, let's shift gears and talk about a team that is actually thriving, the Indiana Fever. For years, the Fever were the underdogs, the team that no one took seriously. They struggled, went through coaching changes, and had losing seasons that felt endless. But now, everything has changed. The Fever have flipped the script and are making power moves left and right. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge, they're assembling a squad that could legitimately shake up the entire WNBA. This offseason, they've made some of the biggest and smartest acquisitions in the league. They added Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, and Sydney Colson, the same Colson who just left the Aces. These aren't just average players. These are proven veterans who bring leadership, defense, and championship experience. And let's not forget they still have rising star Aaliyah Boston, who has already proven that she can dominate the paint and be a game changer. To put it simply, this isn't just a rebuild, it's a full-fledged transformation into a team that is ready to win now. Remember when Cheryl Swoops said, "No one wants to play in Indiana"? Well, that statement aged like spoiled milk. Right now, Indiana is the place to be. The energy surrounding this team is electric, and fans are going absolutely wild. The Fever have gone from an afterthought to a serious contender for the playoffs, and maybe even more. Even more impressive? The Fever's front office has been extremely smart and strategic about their moves. Instead of making flashy, short-term decisions, they are building a sustainable and well-balanced team. They found the perfect mix of young, explosive talent and experienced veterans who can guide the squad to success. It's a blueprint for winning that other struggling franchises should be studying closely. But the question now is, can the Fever put all the pieces together and become the team to beat? And there you have it, the Las Vegas Aces are in full-on crisis mode, with Kelsey Plum making waves in the WNBA and the franchise facing some serious challenges. From internal drama and leadership struggles to losing key players, it's hard not to wonder, will the Aces ever get back to their former glory? Or is this the end of their so-called dynasty? Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are quietly building a super team, ready to shake up the league and become real contenders. Caitlin Clark, Natasha Howard, and DeWanna Bonner, yeah, they're not messing around. It's a whole new era in the WNBA, and the Fever might just be the ones to beat. Before you go, if you've been enjoying the breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got all the latest news, updates, and juicy drama coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. Plus, tap the bell icon so you get notified every time we drop a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Keep your eyes on the court because things are about to get really interesting.